Good morning, Slits.
Good morning, Chanel.
This was a viral video clip on the TikTok. The queen bee was called Chanel, and her sidekick also called Chanel.
Chanel number 2.
Chanel number 3.
Chanel number 5.
These pretties fighting over the name Chanel wasn't just a luxury brand, it was also a person. Today we're going to talk about this legend in the fashion world, Coco Chanel. Someone once said, France in the 20th century left us with 3 names, de Gaulle, Picasso, and Coco Chanel. But despite being a fashion icon, her life was an uphill battle. When Chanel was 6, her mother passed away from illness. Then her father sent Chanel and her sister to a convent wanting to avoid the hassle. He promised his young daughters he'd come back for them once he was settled, but he never did. Still, Chanel held on to hope. Then one day she thought she saw her father. She ran to him excitedly, but the smile on her face disappeared soon, because in her father's arms was a newborn baby. That's when Chanel realized her father had started a new family. She and her sister had been abandoned. She knew she was on her own from now on. In the blink of an eye, Chanel turned 18. She left the convent, using the sewing skills she had learned there. She started working as a tailor at a clothing store. Though it was just an ordinary job, but Chanel quickly showed her talent. One day, a wealthy woman came in to try on a dress, but she didn't seem happy with it.
I spent thousands of francs on this dress, the latest fashion from Paris, and look at it. Look at it! I'm the size of a house!
Chanel boldly pointed out the problem. The skirt was too long. It completely hid her legs and made her look even fatter. Then she rolled up the front of the skirt.
And leave it low at the back. You seem slimmer.
The woman was skeptical. An expensive piece like this, how dare she alter it arbitrarily? But then she looked in the mirror.
I think it will work.
That moment unknowingly kickstarted Chanel's design career. Not long after, the young and beautiful Chanel fell in love for the first time. The man was a handsome, wealthy officer. Chanel quit her job and moved into his estate. There, she learned to ride horses, met high society, and lived the luxurious life of a lady, something she had never imagined before. But even then, she didn't get lost in the extravagance. In her spare time, she kept up with her craft. Whenever she had time, she designed hats. One day, she brought her latest design to the racetrack with her lover. At the time, every woman's hat was overly elaborate and heavy, but Chanel's hat stood out, simple and refreshing. But the design drew the ire of a famous designer.
What are you wearing on your head, madame?
A straw hat. Is something wrong? Can't you recognize a hat without a bird's nest on top?
But he didn't stop there, kept giving her a hard time.
Allow Paul Poiret to determine what a woman wants to wear.
You may know what you want them to wear, but are you sure that's the same thing?
I don't see many women here that share your idea, know your taste.
But he was soon slapped in the face. The princess sent her servant over, asking where did Chanel buy her hat? Chanel calmly replied, Chanel Fashion. What they didn't know was, at that time, Chanel Fashion didn't even exist. But she wasn't just making things up. She wanted to start a hat store for long, but her lover firmly refused to support her. She wanted to marry him, but he never agreed.
Seriously, what would change between us if I did marry you?
Chanel was devastated. She finally realized women couldn't rely on men forever. If the officer didn't respect her, she decided to leave.